So we're talking about setting an agenda for the new government now. Well, it is an old government continuing into the new. They have a new 4-year mandate as the Buhari Oshibajo team. We have with us in the studio Mr. Sani Monier-Dafe, who is a member of Buhari Oshibajo Presidential Campaign Council. He's also of the Election Planning and Monitoring Directorate. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thanks for having me. Good morning, Abuja.
And we also have with us
Muslim brethren.
Yes, we also have with us Mr. Shehu Gabam, who is the National Secretary of the Social Democratic Party. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Good morning, Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak to you and our viewers as well. Now, let's talk about setting an agenda. One of the things that people found a little interesting is the fact that there was no inaugural speech when the president was inaugurated, him and his vice president were inaugurated on May 29. And so the talking points were not very many. Perhaps we're looking forward to June 12 when that speech will come. But can you tell us what exactly you think will be markedly different from what they did in the last 4 years and what they hope to do in this new 4 years? The campaign theme was next level. What exactly are they taking, where are they taking Nigerians to, so to speak?
Before I answer you on the next level question, I want to talk about the speech or lack of speech. That is the unfortunate thing happening in this country right now. If you had spoken, some people would have said the speech was too short. So bottom line is whatever President Buhari does, he's wrong to some people. Fortunately, more people like him and he has been sworn in for second term. Now, what is he going to do this time around? To continue dispensing what he has started doing. Because President Buhari did not know the kind of rot on ground when he came on board. Nobody knew. But one thing he did from the get-go was go and complete all projects in your ministries. It's order to the ministers. And they did that. Never in the history of Nigeria have we had a government that spends so much time continuing projects left by the past government. The thinking is that if you do that, the credit will go to the former government. That didn't bother President Buhari. And we can see evidence on ground. I don't think you would have time for me to mention the various projects that were done. Several. One key thing is that in 1999, when the PDP took over the government of Nigeria, Ajaokuta was 95% completed. 95%. They could not finish 5% of Ajaokuta. In fact, they ended up vandalizing that place almost to scratch, but very soon it will be commissioned. I can talk about Aluminium Smelter Company.
Are we still talking about the PDP?
We're talking about Nigeria.
In the 5th year.
We're talking about Nigeria. No, we're talking about Nigeria. Marco, you see, that's one funny thing about what we've gone through these past 4 years. People expect us to do magic. When you tell them that this is what we met on ground, somehow they tell you to just forget about it and tell us what you're going to do. We have been doing. But many people don't see. We had an extensive time with Shehu outside before we came on board here. And the people that are responsible for feeding the public with information have their ulterior motives. So in order to counter those things, we must keep reminding them that this is what was on ground. If there's no way you tell me that an honest observer will say for 4 years that President Buhari was there, nothing was done. It's amazing. So we must keep reminding them.
People will definitely say that whatever was done. I'm sure Mr. Shehu here can definitely say maybe what he thinks. Did you see, are you satisfied with what you saw in the last 4 years? If they say they're going to continue with that, would you be satisfied with that pace, so to speak, of continuity?
Well, let me thank you once again for bringing these issues so frontally. First, I think my study of the body language of the president before inauguration, he has set up the agenda of what he wants to achieve. He mentioned in the clear terms that the next 4 years he will deal more with ensuring that a functional federation is being observed. Rule of law is going to be very strong and strengthened. He also mentioned about restructuring before the inauguration. So for me, he has...
In that meeting, they had the APC governors.
Yes, the APC governors. So for me, he has set the agenda of what he wants to do. And I think I gave him credit for that because that's what the country is yearning for. That's what the country is talking about. in a country that is multiplying its population on a monthly basis, required a futuristic analysis. What do you intend to do to accommodate the population that we are producing, infrastructurally, and other critical sectors that will consume the population and will engage the population that we are producing, is what matters most. In the absence of looking into restructuring of the country, creating some sort of autonomy, particularly the one he moved for the local government, which is very fundamental, very critical, to have some level of independence or complete independence of the local government.
That's on the NFIU, right?
Yes, so to generate some dividends of the communities that are based within that locality, to reduce the level of the criminality that is going on.
You have seen, I mean, the protest that has greeted that from the governors. They say that is unconstitutional.
Well, there must be a process, and that is why you need a proactive president. Once the president is proactive, he generates a debate on issues, and those issues will go to the relevant institutions that matters in terms of digesting them and classifying them.
Two debates have already arisen very quickly, and that is about state and local government policing. We've also seen that debate coming from the NFIU's directive as to whether or not it is constitutional. Do you think that they give a different body language than they gave when President Buhari first of all came in 2015?
You see, we are a democratic nation. By nature, the political divide must generate different arguments to satisfy certain political belief and philosophy or satisfying their political masters. But when you are looking at it holistically and nationally, what are the benefits? Do we benefit anything from allowing the local government to have direct access to their own funds to generate development? The answer is yes. Now, if you said that you don't need to enhance security capacity of a country, is it a service to the country or is it a service to the country? Definitely it's a service to the country, because the challenges that is confronting the nation demand more capacity in dealing with those challenges. Now, if you extract this out and you begin to whip in sentiment or emotion or provincial issues, you have lost the whole issue. The issue is about, are Nigerians losing their life on a daily basis? The answer is yes. Is the security situation deteriorating? The answer is yes. Is there a lack of infrastructure from the local government, from the community base? The answer is yes, there is none. So what do you need to reduce that level of poverty, that level of insecurity? Which means you need to go through the National Assembly, which the President have initiated, to debate these issues. The issues will go up to the state, up to the local government for contribution, and then it becomes a law, and then you amend the law. And if you do not initiate the process, how are you going to implement it?
No,
that's what the government is all about.
Do you sense that there is a different approach from President Buhari's coming in 2015 to his re-election right now?
I have seen a different approach, and then we see how it goes. But definitely I've seen a different approach, which I'm satisfied as a person, because I've been a major activist of calling for a comprehensive process that will reduce this level of insecurity. The level of poverty is extremely very, very bad. So government must move on to do something that will reduce this crisis, because the migration process is extremely very high from the community base. Community to local government, to state and to national. And that is why you see the cosmopolitan nature of the states. The state cannot carry the body. And that's why the situation is escalating. And that's why there's no capacity to handle the pressure on the state of Nigeria. And we are busy roaming from one end to the other, trying to curtail the problem. People are being killed on a daily basis. It's on record. And therefore, as a government and as a president who have suffered tremendously from his own home states, where thousands of people were being killed and maimed by bandits and criminals, you know, if you do not initiate a process to which it will be enforced, it will become a law, then we are doing a great disservice to this country, not to the president. Nigeria belongs to Nigeria, not the president. The president was elected to preside over the country.
It is interesting because it seems that your work has been made easy for you,
telling you
this morning. But there's definitely something that is markedly different. I mean, when people can say that in 2015, President Buhari came in on his antecedents as a general. And I think a lot of people had different expectations of what that would mean. I mean, they're talking about his anti-corruption antecedents and what have you. Some people would say that there was even some realigning, it would seem, within the public service until it was seen that the magic wore off and they saw that, you know, there was not really much going to happen. It seemed there was no consequence for doing the wrong things. How do you reassure those who felt that some business as usual continued in certain quarters and that it would not be that way with the second coming, so to speak?
It will not be that way because I think the president has realized his mistake. In 2015, when he was sworn in, he made it clear that APC or PDP does not bother him. So long as you are Nigerian, they are competent, they are not corrupt, they are allowed to continue. And then what led to further demystifying was what happened in the National Assembly. A week after he was sworn in, we had the elections in the National Assembly for leadership. We know what happened. Now he has seen all those things, and he has promised to hit the ground running. Shewa has done a lot of work for me, and I think I will just say a little bit more. But the point I want to make is that we should not be in a hurry to believe that all those things the president has promised will happen. We saw the debate on the earlier part of this program from the Lagos wing. I'm surprised. I have to mention Colonel Tony Inyam, seeing him with his smile on his face for the first time, and even saying President Buhari is a breath of fresh air. I'm really impressed. So that should not also lead people to think that it will be magic. President Buhari wants to follow due process. He has made some recommendations. This local government autonomy you're talking about, we have a law in place. The law says two-tier government will have, federal and state. Now, the local governments automatically should be submerged under the state. But with what's happening right now, it will take a serious debate and people really willing to give and take for us to accept it. NFI has come up to say what they want to say. The governors are saying they don't have the rules. I mean, it's not in the laws for that to happen. Now, for me, I would like for autonomy of the states. But let me be very blunt. I mean, blunt here. Of the local government, sorry. Let me be very blunt here. Let me use Adamawa, for example. We have 21 local governments. If you give money straight to the local government chairman, it will mean you're going to have 21 very powerful people overnight. The governors will feel challenged. Nigerians must watch out for that. Second part of it is that our attitudes. Local government chairman, overnight in Nigeria, it has become a trend. In this country, people sleep paupers and wake up millionaires. They cannot manage the success. They cannot manage instant wealth. Now, if you have 21 local governments in Adamawa, chairmen who are very powerful, can they really handle the sudden wealth, the sudden power, and do the right things? Nigerians must watch out. For state policing and the local government policing, and then the SARS review, if we want to see this change, we must be up on our toes. Like Shehu said, the country belongs to all of us. President Buhari can only give us a focus. See where I'm going to. It's up to us now to work towards it and make sure we curtail the selfish attitudes of the people who are in power because they want to sustain themselves against the wills of the Nigerian people.
What mistakes would you say the president made in his first term?
Allowing the PDP people, with due respect, because they didn't have the vision of what the APC was all about. And with the president,
which PDP people?
The people who were PDP members, supporters who were left in various positions in government after 2015, he was sworn in. He said it during one of the campaigns. He made a comment. He said they allowed it to happen and they are fighting him now. That's the honest truth.
Well, what about those who, the president did not rejig his cabinet? He didn't fire anybody. Some people thought that was a huge mistake.
That is his style.
Is it a good style?
It's good because people will still achieve a lot. I tell you, roads, rail,
could you have achieved much
agriculture,
more?
From where we were before to what we has done, he did a lot more. And the next level mantra is about doing much more on what more has been done. A lot more.
Well, I think his first time in office as a president and commander-in-chief, he fired himself on the foot because the delay in the setting up of his cabinet.
Was that a mistake, in your estimation?
Well, yes, because people were so anxious for the names to come out. And 6 months or so, it came out with people that people felt were not competent. I don't blame them for having that thought. I don't blame them. That's the honest truth.
You said he came out with people that people felt were not competent.
Many people.
Yet, you felt that, it was...
Some of them were not, but many of them did a lot. Fashola, fantastic. Adogwe, fantastic. I can name them. Okay. Plenty was done.
You were talking about some of the mistakes that he made and, perhaps things that he ought to have done, things that he should be doing differently in his second term.
Well, yes, because before he came in as a president, if you monitor his campaign promises and so on and so forth, the predominant campaign issue was the issue of security. Before he came in, he knew the level of the security situation of the country. He have received security briefs. He boasted about getting out of Boko Haram and so many other issues. When he came in, he also received a verbal, physical security brief on what is on ground. He visited Borno and Yobe, you know, as the president, which is very impressive. And of course, along the line, the speed to which to contain the issue was a bit low. And people begin to create fears and worries in their mind for the fact that this man is a real Nigerian, former governor, military governor, former minister, former head of state, and now privileged to be elected president and commander-in-chief. Now people expect decisiveness in terms of approach to deal with the security situation of the country. Now when the security situation begins to deteriorate, people begin to question a lot of issues around him. And if not him directly being accused, if your cabinet is being accused, the ball stops at your own decks. Because you have the moral duty, you have the responsibility to checkmate those members of your cabinet that are not doing well. You decide either to flush them or to reshuffle them to show that efficiency or efficacy in terms of monitoring the behavior of people that drive your governance. There was not much attention on that. And he received a lot of attack, and on several occasions he was in there trying to explain, trying to defend himself, and even trying to repeat what people are saying, Baba go slow, and things like that. So in this second time he have said that he will not be that go slow, he will be faster than what people are saying. And those are the issues that are still agitating the minds of the people. You know, there was no improvement on the economy, drastically very low. The economy is very bad. The security situation is degenerating on a daily basis. And of course, the political landscape is being wrapped up. The agitation is massive. You can see people talking about 2023, even before the inauguration of the president. That shows there's a disconnect in terms of legitimacy of the system. The electoral process is being questioned. And because people have not seen that deliberate attempt to take care of some of these serious issues that are giving them sleepless night. And I believe by the time the president have started doling out policies and programs and enforcing them decisively and dealing with issues that deserve no mercy at a particular time, you know, people will begin to see him differently as a man that in this second time have gone through the pains and the processes. Because I expect by now he have gone into retreat, have taken extra of what he have gone through in 4 years, where he had some successes, where he had some failures. But predominantly, 4 years in office, I don't think it was a success. There's a drastic issues that he needs to address. If you want to leave a legacy behind as a president that have served this country, both militarily and democratically, he needs to do more than what he is doing now. He needs to bring in people that have capacity to drive governance. So far, what we have seen in the ministers, very few of them are proactive.
How soon should he be doing that?
I expect him by now to have do that, because the first time experience of delaying the formation of the cabinet, delay the growth of the economy, drive the economy into recession forcefully. Because when you run a system outside those constituted bodies, there's no way the economy will not have a standstill affair. So the economy was forced to go into recession. And the same thing will happen if you do not look at the level and the manner to which the economy is operating right now, and you not be proactive in driving the forces of the economy, the political forces, you will still go into the same crisis.
Let Mr. Muneda respond.
I totally beg to disagree with him on the issue of performance of the president and the security situation. I deliberately drove to Yola by road for Christmas.
I wish you will understand what I've said.
I drove to Yola by road on December 23, 2018, deliberately to see what was happening in terms of the road development and security. I slept in Bauchi on the 23rd, got to Yola on the 24th. On the 27th, I was in Hong. I spent the night in Hong. On the 28th, before we came back, I went to Mararaba Mubi on the way to Michika Madagali and Co.
I will let you finish, you know, what you found on your way to Adamawa when we come back from this break. Please stay with us.
Okay.
Dafe and Mr. Shehu Gabam are still with us in the studios. We're talking about setting an agenda for the Buhari administration in this second term. You were talking about going to Adamawa by road.
I spent...
You didn't go through the Abuja-Kaduna road,
No, I
did you?
went through Jere to... came out at Nibskuru.
Because you know that that road has been a subject, a talking point in recent times.
I go to Kaduna regularly for weddings, and these things happen because the people that do it are opportunists. It's like a thief coming to your house in the night.
We cannot dismiss that road has suffered some security problems in recent
Agreed,
times.
but you see, the truth is that before President Buhari came on board, we used to have bombings in Abuja. The UN building was bombed some time ago. IMAB was bombed. We had serious danger in the FCT and across Nigeria. It has reduced drastically.
Agreed, but and I know the point you're trying to make with your trip to Adamawa is that it is far safer than how it used to be. Is that right?
We have gone beyond that. Now, I went to Maraba Mubi.
Yes.
Maraba, right goes to Mubi, left takes you to Uba, Michika, Madagali, up to Bama and Meduguri. I got to Maraba Mubi and I came back. Nothing happened.
Thankfully. Thankfully, but then you cannot dismiss the places where things are happening. So that
now,
even in places like the president's home state, like Katsina, that did not experience any crisis before 2015, Zamfara, Sokoto, and a number of other states that have recently been in the news.
That can be attributed to people who want to make sure this government does not have a stable environment to work in. Because the people that were caught along that Kaduna-Abuja road, they were called the kidnappers. But look at the area of weapons that were caught with them, including a rocket launcher. Is that a kidnapper's
That's certainly work for the president.
It is not. So people that are doing these things, they have their motives.
You think it is political? Are you saying it is political?
I think it is. I think it is. Because there are people who don't want the president to succeed. And I keep saying it, the owners of Nigeria, in quotes, who don't want to succeed. But the people of Nigeria are behind him. Talking about, you're asking about the speech on the no speech on the 29th of May. There will be a speech on June 12th. June 12th is actually Democracy Day that the past government refused to acknowledge.
What are your thoughts, quickly, closing comments on what you think, what's the first thing you think this administration should be doing? Or do you think that from what you have seen so far, they have set the right tone?
Well, by pronouncement, but by action we are waiting to see. Number two, I expect the president to be proactive in preventing crimes and criminality, because what you have seen, the banditry you have seen, is as a result of the farmers' and herdsmen crisis that degenerated into what you have today. People were denied to go to their farms for security reasons. The Fulani men lost their cows, lost their asset, have nothing to bank on. There is no any skill that they can fall back to. Now they become vulnerable, being recruited by criminals to do the job. So something generated the insecurity that we talked about. So the government must nip the reason that led to the degeneration of the security, and the government must have a policy of rehabilitation. Some of these youth that you've seen being paraded, kidnapped, they're about 18, 20, 25 years. The highest is about 25 years. So they don't even know they are right. They be recruited. What led to their being recruited? Because they were thrown on the street. There was no policy of government to rehabilitate them after going through a lot of tumultuous situation, assassination, and so on and so forth. Well, so these are critical issues.
Whichever way you look at it, there's certainly work to be done, and I'm sure a lot of Nigerians will be looking for that work to be done in the second term of the Buhari Oshibajo administration. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on Sunrise Edith this morning. Sonny Monia Dafe is a member of the All Progressives Congress, is also a member of the Buhari Oshibajo Presidential Campaign Council and also the Election Planning and Monitoring Directorate. And we also had with us Shehu Gabam, who is a National Secretary of the Social Democratic Party. That's
and waiting for next level for
we're already there.
Well, that's Sunrise Edith this morning, brightening your day as always. Thank you for watching. I'm Malkwe Ogun Yusuf is back to the crew in Lagos.
Yes, indeed. And thank you for watching as well. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
I'm Gimba Umar. I am Akine here saying, enjoy your holiday.
The views and opinions expressed by guests on this program are those of the maker and do not reflect the views, opinions, and endorsement of Channels Television.